Hey, welcome to the NBA Daily Morning Shoot Around, our Wednesday YouTube live stream. I'm Dave DuFour here with Baraheni, Zena, Keita, Andrew Schlecht out sick. Oof. Rough. Just back from vacation and picked up a cold.
Having too much fun after the Thunder smacked the Spurs.
That's right.
Up.
Yeah,
That's
we know the truth. Guys, thank you guys for joining us. If you're watching us on YouTube, if you're listening to the podcast, we appreciate you. But we're trying to build up our YouTube, so come and check that out. Subscribe to it. We're going to do more live stuff. I believe by the time we get to the playoffs, we really might be going live after some of these big playoff matchups. So come and relive, the night before or whatever with us over on YouTube. It's a fun time. We take questions from the chat and try to mix it up a little bit. Kind of had this thought, guys. We're at the halfway mark of the season. Got some questions about the season so far and where we're heading. Let's just jump right in because it's a lot to get to. If the playoffs started today, guys, which of the top 6 seeds in either conference is nobody afraid of?
Man,
we start strong.
Yeah, that is spicy. That's
right.
Spicy.
Who are the biggest frauds? I think is really the question.
So we're starting with OK. No, I'm joking. That's
wow.
Whoa.
That's for Andrew. That was for Andrew.
Wow. What's funny, Zena, is that I do think a little bit of that mystique was chipped away the last month. I mean, you look at we do this every day, and some of this we have to do a little bit tongue in cheek, just to keep the conversation going. But we did see them, some of their faults were exposed, and I think that maybe this game last night was. And Andrew talked about this on the show this morning. They're back. They looked more like the Thunder last night than we've seen in about a month. And so we're all going to back away from the ledge, that the Thunder were on, right? Like we don't think that they're frauds. But which of these teams? I mean, obviously it's going to, the 5 and 6 seed usually doesn't scare a lot of people. But this year, I mean, it really could be different. When you look at the East right now, the 5 and 6 seeds, that's Philadelphia and Orlando.
Yeah,
that's scary. If you got healthy Joel Embiid, and if you have a healthy Orlando team who hasn't been healthy all year,
I think Orlando's the team I'm not scared of, and I would also put the Raptors in that conversation too.
I was gonna say you got to be honest with yourself, and I didn't know if you were gonna put them up there, but yeah, I think the Raptors at the 4 seed is the most interesting. Like, is that real? Are those real numbers? Is that a real standing? But I think they capitalized on early success in the season. They took care of business early on, and now teams are starting to keep up, but. I still will be very scared of the Knicks, even though they've scuffled as of late. Of course, I've been big on the Celtics, and even in the games that they might have lost closely or et cetera, I'm still like, they know how to lock it in when the time comes, and they've done this before. The Pistons might be a late 3rd entry for that team that you're not scared of. And I would only say that not because of the product they've put out on the floor, but because people don't know what they're capable of in those circumstances.
Well, there's the whole they haven't done it before, and playoff experience matters, and all of these other tropes that we rely on until we see it. So I can get that. I think that if you're looking out west, the Lakers shouldn't scare anybody.
I disagree there. I'm going to go. So
as constructed, they cannot defend.
I agree.
At all.
I agree. But if you were thinking of, and I thought this initially, Dave, that's why I said I disagree, because I looked at the standings. I'm like, oh, okay, of course, the Lakers. But then you have to play a 7-game series versus Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves. And that, I don't care how old LeBron is. I don't care about Luka. Like, that in itself provides a level of fear that I don't know if I have for even the Houston Rockets, who of course have Kevin Durant, but have their own offensive questions next to Şengün and Amen Thompson. And do they have a ball handler and an organizer? If I had to rank fear levels for the West, I would probably put the Lakers ahead of the Rockets. That's where I'm at.
For sure.
Just because,
I agree with that.
It's scary to be able to look on the other side of the court and see it's LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves, who by themselves, I think, even if they can't defend, if they have a good series, I feel like they could pull off an upset.
Sure.
I don't know. That's where I'm at.
Their offense is enough. One, it's packed with enough offensive firepower, but also basketball IQ to figure out some wins. Yeah. And to me, it would be an intellectual kind of situation where LeBron and Luka would be playing the X's and O's of maybe we don't have the defense quite yet. I would hope at that point you have something, but maybe we don't have the defense to be able to compete one-on-one with this, but we do have enough understanding of like the angles, things to take away, ways to scheme, right? To be able to figure out some wins.
I mean, they win games. It's not like they're in the bottom half of the conference. I mean, they do win games, and you can win games on offense. I just think that by the time you get to the serious level, and maybe that's not the first round, but you look at right now they'd match up against the Timberwolves.
And by the way, I would favor the Timberwolves, and we just saw them get slapped up by the Timberwolves for a very similar reason in last year's playoffs, right?
Yeah, so. This is a great point from the YouTube comments. Donkey16, we got to get better handles, guys. This question was solely designed to slander the Raptors, despite being the 4 seed, and I refuse to see it any other way. And I got to tell you, yes, it was agree. Because listen, they're a little bit of a fake 4 seed, and it isn't that they're a fake top 6 seed, but they did take advantage of that early season success. Absolutely. And I think by the time we get to the playoffs, as long as everything keeps going, well from a health perspective for the Sixers, they're going to be in that top 4. Sixers are a better team than the Raptors right now. I mean, they just got so much more talent, right?
Well, I'll say this, and I said this in our pod a couple of weeks ago. In a 7-game series, Sixers versus Raptors, I'm taking the Sixers just because they have the guard play and offensive firepower between Maxey and Edgecombe, and we'll see if Embiid and Paul George will stay healthy, but they have the offensive firepower there. The Raptors have been 18, 19, 20 on offense since their really, really good start. Now, part of that is Jakob Poeltl's been hurt, RJ Barrett's been hurt, etc. But I do not trust their offensive process in a postseason series. That's one of the main issues for them right now is like, hey, can you get good quality looks compared to a team like the Sixers who have Maxey, who is genuinely unstoppable? And as Raptors fans know, loves to play them. So
they play 40 times a season. I just don't know.
I look at Toronto Raptors, and the main thing I think of is in the playoffs, you got to get the ball up the court. And they just don't have an organizer right now. We know their point guard issues right now. And we know that can be swallowed up at the point guard position when folks start pressing full court. And Tyrese Maxey is very good at that. We've seen him do that before, especially when the games are on the line and things matter. So I struggle. Yes, you have wings. Yes, you've got scoring. Yes, you've got rebounders. Yes, Scotty Barnes and Brandon Ingram have been phenomenal. And of course, RJ Barrett had his injury, but he's been back and he's been fine. But like, it is the same struggles I have with the Houston Rockets. Same thing.
It's also, in my opinion, truthfully, the same issues that I see with the Orlando Magic, which is
without
they
Jalen
are
Suggs.
Heavily reliant on Jalen Suggs to be an organizer. And I know Desmond Bane adds a wrinkle there, but ultimately, like, they are going to have to struggle through grinding, like grind buckets, right? Grind ball basketball
without an offense to help them out, right? So that's the thing. They have no offensive identity that they can fall back on to get easy wins. Period.
Maybe it is offense wins. Offense wins playoff series. Defense wins championships. Can we go?
I mean, offense wins games, or offense wins championships. Defense wins games. It's something like that. You got to play. You got to be able to play on both ends.
Well, I've never heard that one. I've definitely heard defense wins championships.
I've heard defense wins championships a lot. Yes. Yeah. I mean, OKC last year.
Trying to rewrite history over here. Sure. I don't know about that.
They shot like 5% from 3 and still won a championship.
Good luck not scoring. Yeah, but they scored. Okay. Next question, guys. Which superstar is under the most pressure in the second half of the season?
What do you classify as a superstar?
What do you classify as pressure? Because
that was going to be my question, Dave.
I would say this: like, I think that there's plenty of guys with pressure because of age, right? I think like Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, LeBron to a certain degree, although he's a guy who definitely has nothing left to prove. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think Ant Edwards is under a lot of pressure.
Okay.
Mainly just because his team, especially now this year, but even last year, they had a lot of weapons last year and they came up short. This team, it feels like moves have been made. And of course, they lose Nickeil Alexander-Walker, but moves have been made to try and help him, and they should have had another year of growth alongside Julius Randle. We've seen the growth that Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert have had as a big duo, but everyone's starting to, it feels like, to be in lockstep with each other. And it feels like the Timberwolves have the size, they've got the offensive firepower, they've got the defense, they've got the bodies. I don't know. They're showing their depth as of late. I think early in the season we were like, who else is there on this Minnesota Timberwolves bench? But they're starting to be in lockstep, and I feel like Ant Edwards has consistently said in public spaces that he wants that moment. He wants to be in those moments, but he hasn't been able to get there. And I think, for example, I look at that Christmas Day game and what he was able to do to even get his team back in the mix and be able to start the overtime scoring and 9-0 run, I believe, for Timberwolves, and they didn't come out and win that game. Like, I think there's a lot of pressure for him to be able to back up his capability. It's not necessarily back up what he's saying. It's making sure that you can see the result of what he's capable of, because he can put up 40 in a game and guard your best player, but can he be the leader to take Minnesota further?
Yeah. It's also like with Ant, and maybe I'm shooting him a level of bail here, but like you look at how Dave and I were talking about this yesterday. You look at how they stack up with the rest of the teams in the Western Conference. The competition level is just so high. If the Timberwolves were in the Eastern Conference, I think all of
they're
us
the one seed.
Yeah, the one seed.
They're winning 65 games.
Right. I think we would probably say they're the team to make it to the finals. It's just there's OKC, there's San Antonio, there's Denver. There's three teams that, in my opinion, whether, the Timberwolves ball handling issues or whether it be their age or depth, whatever it is, you can kind of poke and prod at some of the things that they don't have.
Right.
And you can probably do that for the rest of the teams. It's just it's more exasperated with the Timberwolves and the issues that they have. So that's
but hang on, but they beat the Thunder, they beat the Spurs the other day. I mean, they hang with everyone. The top four in the West.
They do.
Any four of those teams, if the Timberwolves wind up in the finals, it is not the most shocking thing in the world because they have the pieces. Yeah. I do think that they need another guard. But that team is actually scary if I'm one of those other teams, because they can catch you. I mean, like you said, Ant can drop 40 on just about anybody.
I'll throw out an ex Timberwolves player. Karl Anthony Towns.
Stole it from me.
Oh, really? Okay.
I mean, because this is it.
That's good.
This is it. Yeah, this is absolutely. I mean, look, we know where Giannis wants to go. And I don't think any of us think that Giannis is going to get traded right now within the next couple of weeks. I think that's going to be a summer thing.
I don't know, man. He booed the crowd in Milwaukee last night, and
his post-game press conference wasn't any better. By the way,
it wasn't good. And I mean, how many times have you ever seen Giannis that negative about fans, any fans?
Yeah,
I felt like his feelings actually got hurt, and I hate to project that on somebody because like I'm sitting here a couple thousand miles away trying to, parse out how he's going through this, but I've never seen him act like that.
No, it's true.
So now I think anything could be on the table. I mean, and also they got embarrassed in a way that should tell you that this team is unserious.
But I just think, like, if I were to angle this back to the Knicks, they should feel confident that they are going to try to make the NBA Finals this year. I think outside of the Pistons, who have been awesome, and we keep saying this, the Pistons are awesome. We just need to see them do it. I think Cade Cunningham is another guy who could be on this pressure meter that we throw out there. But Cat,
early.
It is a little early. With Cat, it's like, look, you've had multiple chances at this thing with the Timberwolves, now with the Knicks, and I think most people bring up the idea that the pick and roll can be attacked with Brunson and Cat. And you need Brunson. He is a proven playoff player at this point. The game winners, the clutch moments, Brunson has been able to deliver in high leverage moments. Can Karl Anthony Towns deliver in high leverage moments for the Knicks? That's the major question for the Knicks heading into the playoffs and the postseason. They have a very clear route to the NBA Finals, in my opinion. But a lot of that has to do with Cat and how effective he can be on both ends of the floor.
All right. How about Luka?
Okay.
Came in shape, right? That's all we heard about. He's motivated. He wants to prove the doubters wrong. Nico Harrison, first and foremost. He was playing well enough. I mean, he's still playing well enough. Nico got fired, but the defense is god awful when it happens. I mean, the thing is, it's really non-existent. And I think that this is the last year that he gets a pass on that if they fail to get out of the first round of the playoffs, because he's going to get picked on. He's going to get picked on. He's going to be the guy that they're trying to go at because they want to wear him down. I think
bad when a player has a compilation of whenever someone's
if you can make a low light
clips, that's awful.
I mean, just try is my thing. Like, it takes very little effort to just try a little bit. I do think that Luka, the narrative around Luka is changing in real time, where people are starting. I mean, this is what happens when you play for the Lakers too, because Laker fans do not play. Like, if you're not doing the things that they expect out of their players, you're going to hear about it. And I think we're starting to see some of that now. So if come playoff time, he has high profile defensive lapses, I expect that we're going to hear about him all summer long.
I agree with you. It's funny. I'm distracted a little bit because as you're saying this, I'm seeing Ryden the Red-Eyed Tigers comment. I think that's what it is. KD. And I'm just thinking about, like, Luka just is technically getting acclimated. He got moved against his will.
The roster isn't set up.
Not great.
Exactly. The roster wasn't set up for him. He didn't know what he was getting moved to, right? KD made his decisions knowing everything.
That's right.
The team
top
was
5
moved.
salary in the league.
Correct. The team was moved for his benefit. And as that comment says, hasn't made a conference finals or finals appearance since 2019.
And they're in lockstep with the team he got traded from.
Yeah. And like, you love the fact that KD handled that game and got to say, the bye-bye to the Phoenix Suns. But Phoenix ain't looking so bad without him. They're not looking bad for the person they traded for him, right? They don't even have Jalen Green like that. And that in itself is a story. But I think for KD and the saga, the narrative that's been around him for so long, can he win on his own? Where can he make his own legacy and own his team? This is the opportunity. He's got all these young guys around him. I think there's a lot of pressure on him, not necessarily in his mind. One thing about KD is it's all about team ball. This is pressure for everybody. Houston, everybody's got a problem. But I really do think that for fans watching the game, there's pressure on KD to be able to lift this team up and get them somewhere deep, especially with Houston coming out short last year against a ailing Warriors.
Yeah, that's a good take. Okay, next question, guys. Which role player has had the biggest breakout this season, non-All-Star edition? I mean, we could just tap into the show this morning.
Yeah, what we did this morning. Go listen to the first 10 minutes of the show.
If you want to hear a love letter to Peyton Watson, go listen to this morning's show over again. I would start with him. For me personally,
did you guys hear my first suggestion?
No.
Oh, what was your first suggestion?
Pat Spencer.
Listen. Okay.
I'm joking.
I'm not joking out.
I just love that I just like news stories.
Yes.
New people to grab onto. Nice. He is not a serious contender for this conversation, but Peyton Watson is. So please continue on Peyton.
I mean, I don't know. I think maybe Cam Spencer over Pat, has maybe broken out a little bit more.
Absolutely.
That's really what the question should be.
The Grizzlies lost.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe the question should be, which Spencer brother are you taking? Who's getting drafted first in a Spencer brothers draft? Yeah, it's Cam. So anyway, non-Peyton Watson edition, who I think is definitely in the mix, most improved player award.
Does Keontae George is he past this conversation? Do we no longer talk about Keontae when it comes to this conversation? Because he's went from role player to at the very least star this year.
Yeah.
Right.
how do you guys feel about him in this? Because I think he's the leader for most improved right now. You know, we talked about Peyton Watson and his odds to be able to get to the most improved conversation. I think he has a chance, averaging like 25 over the last little bit that Jokic has been out. That's absurd. But Keontae has been doing it all season.
Yeah.
And I think that's the player that I would thrust into this conversation as a guy who's gone from role player to star. But I don't know if that's what we're looking for.
No. I mean, I think that's the biggest breakout. He's not an all-star.
No, he's
right.
Not. No.
But he definitely has broken out to be the second best player on that team. And I didn't think he was that coming into the season. I was out on Keontae as of this summer, you know. I didn't think I was like, okay, he's inconsistent. The shot wasn't there.
Yeah.
The numbers that he did put up were here and there, and it was on a really bad team, and somebody's got to score points. And I just didn't see this. And then this season, he's so under control. The shot obviously looks so much better, and it's falling, which is the most important part. I don't know. I mean, he definitely has broken out. I like that. I like that as a pick. I mean, this is really almost the most improved player award.
Yeah.
But you know,
I would.
Can I have a lot of different. Wait. Before we keep going.
Yeah.
So, how are we categorizing this? Like, is it that they're not starters? Like, how do we say like role player? Is it someone that's just not the star of the team? Because I could go through a list and just like list names that are.
I think it's just anybody who you think won't be an all-star this year.
Yeah.
But has made a step. So like we've got some good suggestions in the comments from Shaden Sharp to AJ Mitchell. I think Jalen Duren will be an all-star this year, so I wouldn't put him in this conversation. I think he can.
Right.
He's an all-star.
Probably too good to be called a role
Ryan
player.
Rollins.
Yeah.
I put Ryan Rollins in the mix. Norman Powell. I don't think Norman Powell is going to be an all-star.
I think he will be.
He might be.
I think
he might be. He might be.
I think the Eastern Conference just doesn't have enough guys in it, and Norm is one of those guys that's going to be on.
Well, okay. Well, I hate. That's why I'm like the all-star thing is hard because I think that Norm Powell was a role player with the Clippers technically, and he's shown that he is a star. Like, you know, I mean, he produces and he's amazing for Miami. And even in Miami, he wasn't supposed to be the guy. He was supposed to be able to help out, and he is the guy. How do we feel? I mean, Jalen Johnson's going to be an all-star.
Yep.
Yeah.
Denny Abdi is also going to be an all-star.
Yeah.
We got a reply here. I'll give you guys some names. How about Jalen Tyson from the Cleveland Cavaliers? He was averaging 3 points last year. He's now thrusted into a major rotation spot. He's averaging like 13 points a game, playing 27 minutes a game. I like him a lot. Steph Castle, it's kind of
like this recommendation. Yeah, Steph Castle, but he's become a star, maybe. Like
I don't think he's going to make an all-star team, but he's made. I mean, look, he had a great rookie year to capitalize on that and not have the sophomore slump.
Right.
If anything, get better.
He looks better. Yeah.
Is really absurd to me. He's one of my favorite watches in the league for sure. Steph Castle needs to be in that conversation. Mamu, how do you guys feel about Mamu being?
Mamu definitely is in that conversation.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like Mamu.
A lot of those early Toronto wins was because of his offense coming off the bench. The way they did not experience an offensive drop off.
Tyler Kolek for the New York Knicks.
Oh, I thought we were going to continue to talk about Mamu. Yeah, Tyler Kolek has been good. Nikhil Alexander Walker, we get this in the chat.
Yeah,
also has been good. I mean, I think that this is a season. Again, last season we watched become about depth, and this season everyone came in and it seemed more committed to that. And guys are getting more of an opportunity. I mean, it's going further down the bench, and it helps. Back to Denver. Them changing coaches and going from Michael Malone to Adelman.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest change for them in finding these guys down the bench. I mean, we could talk about the injuries, but they had injuries previously and these guys didn't get a shot. This is all about opportunity for a lot of these guys, especially in Denver.
Yeah. That's a good point because I vividly remember my framing of Peyton Watson being like, he's just not ready.
Right.
I feel like because of how he was played in the rotations that he was played in the positions that he was put, I feel like he was made to feel like he wasn't ready. He wasn't in the right places on defense or his, I had no idea he could create his own shot, but maybe he wasn't able to be put in those positions, right? To do that. Another person that comes to mind that you saw glimpses last year. If you were really watching, you saw glimpses last year, but now you're seeing it consistently. Anthony Black in Orlando for me is one of those guys that I'm just like, oh,
yeah, that's a great pick. Yeah.
You're going to be a star.
Can I completely agree with you on Anthony Black. I have a funny Peyton Watson stat that will make you guys laugh.
Ooh,
in his 1 year at UCLA, Peyton Watson scored 105 points. Okay. In the stretch, in the last 5 games that he's played, he has scored 121 points.
Wow.
Wow.
It's already
Wow.
that blew my mind when I found that out yesterday. It's
Ooh.
just
Yeah, that's actually crazy.
to your point, Zena, like nobody thought he could create.
Yeah.
Not even his own college.
We were
team.
just like, oh, he's super athletic. Like, you know what I mean? Like
he's a defender who might eventually learn to shoot. Was it?
Yeah. He gave me early, who's the wing that just got hurt for the Clippers? Starts with a D. I am blanking.
Derek Jones.
Thank you.
Oh,
he gave me early Derek Jones.
Yes.
That's exactly. He can run. He can defend. He's long. He'll, dunk on you if you give him the right lob. Like, but do we give him the ball to create? Just pass it to Jokic.
Play finisher. Right.
But now he's like off the bounce, getting to the basket. Layup.
But also when Jokic comes back, he won't need any of that.
Yeah.
Until he needs it. And this is
now
the
that
nice
we know that
thing
he
that they
has
stumbled
it.
into. Yeah.
But that's the thing, right? Dave, you mentioned this a long time ago. I don't remember what team we were talking about, but you mentioned this and it stuck in my mind. When players get hurt, of course, it's awful. We hate to see it, especially the cruxes of the season when you're making these, like you're trying to make a run or try to build wins. But the number one thing you get excited about is you get to see who's popping, who can give you solid minutes. I think we were talking about Denver, actually, which is funny. Sure. This was even before Peyton Watson popped earlier on. But the Julian Strawthers of the world, are they going to be good enough?
Right.
And just like, I think that is that Anthony Black was that person, right? Like that is one of the reasons we found out what Anthony Black was made of. That's one of the reasons why we found out what Santi Aldama could do in Memphis. Like, right. Like these periods of time where people are injured and people aren't available, you're finding out, okay, Zach Edey's unavailable. Santi Aldama can come in, shoot threes, get to the basket, get fouled. Like, cool. He could play the double big lineup. And I put that in quotes alongside Jaren Jackson. Like, so I do feel like this is good that Denver was like, Peyton, let's give you some minutes. We'll figure out what you can do. And now when Jokic comes back, when he's off the floor, Peyton, have at it. Do what you were doing before.
The injuries helping you find a guy. That's as long as sports has been around. Yeah. You know who Lou Gehrig is? You guys heard of him, right? Do you know who Wally Pipp is?
I only know the disease.
Oh. Okay. Well, Lou Gehrig is one of the greatest baseball players ever. Wally Pipp was the guy who played first base, got hurt, and was replaced by Lou Gehrig, who then never missed a game again.
Well, it's like the Drew Bledsoe, Tom Brady thing.
Tom Brady.
Yeah. Tom Brady, exactly. I was just gonna say.
Now, I don't think that's happening in Denver because that's just not what it is. But I will say this: I want to acknowledge the conversation that's happening in the YouTube chat because there's often smart conversation, but this is actually, I think, a great point being made by On the Break Pod. Not to derail us into a Denver Nuggets segment, but it's part of the legacy of the back and forth of Malone and Calvin Booth. Ironically, they both get fired over the battle, and Strawther was the young guy Malone likes when Watson might have been better. And this is 100% true. All this stuff has come out. The battle between the front office and Michael Malone in Denver really held that team back when you look at the growth of these players now. I mean, I think that I keep making the joke that this is Calvin Booth's team, but he clearly had an eye for talent.
Can I throw something out here? So when Bruce Brown wasn't able to get re-signed by the Denver Nuggets, Calvin Booth had this quote. He said, "Some teams were trying to get Bruce Brown, trying to make it worth it. Just be careful what you wish for. Peyton's bigger, he's longer, he's more athletic, he guards better, he passes better." That is the type of trust that Calvin Booth had in Peyton Watson as a player. Wow. This was 3 years ago. So he clearly was a big Peyton Watson guy.
Right.
You know?
All right, let's move on from that. pretty good Denver Nuggets. We got to get Adam Mares on here. Talk about this at some point. Next question. Which young team are you picking to make it past round 1 of the playoffs? I mean, the obvious one, I think, if we're not counting the Thunder, the obvious one is the Spurs, right? I mean, it feels like they're not going to lose in the first round. They're not going to lose in the first round.
Were you thinking Pistons?
I'm thinking the Pistons. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking Pistons.
Oh, sure.
Too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking Pistons.
Yeah.
But now I forgot that the Spurs are really young. I've always forget. I think Harrison Barnes just like skews me up the other way. But yeah, they are. I'm those two are, I think, the obvious East and West. There you go.
Yeah, I agree that those are the two. I can't think of any others, to be honest with you. Like, do you classify OKC as young still?
Well, what about Philly? Is Philly a young team? This comes from the YouTube comments. Is Philly a young team?
Joel and Paul playing?
But if you think about the guys who are really driving, the Sixers until recently when Embiid has been more healthy.
DJ Epscombe,
Dude, honestly, so this is part of
and by the way, we're not going to go look at the average ages. This is the vibes.
Guys.
It's the vibes of a young team. Okay,
look, I'm not on Snapchat. Let's see.
I will say, we're releasing a Tyrese Maxey video tomorrow, breaking down. And part of the pitch of the video is like, hey, not only have they shifted the focal point to Maxey, but even when Embiid is on the floor, it's Maxey's team, and he is fit into what he wants to do. So I agree that like the young guys are propelling what the Sixers want to do. It's just, I don't know if I would classify them as a young team vibes wise.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of in the middle.
Maxey has playoff experience. Like he's played in multiple playoff series. He's beaten. I don't know. Tough.
Yeah. I think that the only two teams that are what we consider young that have any expectations of making it out of the first rounds, Detroit and San Antonio. The rest of them, they're just not going to have. I mean, home court advantage does matter, and they're not going to have it. All right, last question. Assuming that that teams are going to go in to win and not tear it down. Okay, for this question, which team is in need of the biggest facelift at the trade deadline in order to make a push this season? So they're trying to win. Which team that has some kind of aspiration of winning do you guys think needs to make a trade the most?
Zena, you go ahead. Yeah,
I think they're in my neck of the woods, honestly. The Warriors. And it's just that this window, we keep talking about it, the window, the margin of error, the time. It's clearly the Warriors. And you think about a team that is $300,000 away from the second apron. And you are constricted and confined to what's available to you. And you've got a guy making $24 million who is young, athletic, capable, sitting on the end of your bench in a hoodie every night, smiling, enjoying his teammates, not playing, only DNP. You need athleticism more than anything. You really need rim protection. In my opinion, you need size and some rim protection. And you need a scorer, somebody that can just flat out get buckets, roll the ball.
They need multiple players.
I mean, I don't know if they need multiple players. I think they need to make a decision on do we want to score or do we want size? I think those are the two.
Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if Jesus come down.
Got a hell of a crossover. I do I wonder, look, the Michael Porter Jr. stuff for the Warriors it doesn't make much sense to me. I understand the thought of getting a shooter out there. I just don't know how this team works with Jimmy and Draymond. Draymond as your best center is still, and that's still great for high leverage moments in the playoffs. It's just not a consistent way to win. Your rebounding is just, you're getting crushed in rebounds. Yeah.
Oh, about time.
You have two non-shooters on the court in your best lineups. And that's impossible.
I'll give Jimmy credit though. He said this earlier this season, and it's proven to be right. He says, I can shoot threes. I just choose not to. And it's true. When he has shot threes, he has done pretty well. But he doesn't shoot threes. And the thing is, and Chris Mellon lays this out really beautifully when we talk about the team and what makes it hard, but also it makes it hard to scheme and defend them. There's two different styles being played in the course of a game. One is the motion offense when Stephen Curry's out there, and it changes how you're defending them from a shot clock perspective. You are looking at when Steph is on the floor, it takes a while to get that motion going, right? He's got to set his person up. He's got to come off the screen. Draymond's got to find him. Like, other actions have to happen to distract the defenders on the weak side. Like, it's a whole thing. When Jimmy Butler's on the floor and he's with that second unit, particularly, or with Steph not on the floor, he goes into the post or he goes into the corner, gets the ball, clear out. Mm-hmm. And maybe you're getting a shot a little bit sooner in the shot clock, but now it's like it's a different defensive scheme because everyone else is in help and figuring out, what do we want to do? Do we want to double down, or we just want to let that person go one-on-one? Yeah. So that's fine. That's fine if you're getting production out of both styles and everyone's on the same page. And as of late, in these wins that the Warriors have had, you've seen that, where people are coming off the bench and they're fitting and slotting into both styles well. Mm-hmm. Issue is, and we're going to see this on display for the Warriors against the Knicks, does it work against these above high 500 teams, right? Because the Hawks came in there and looked like all-stars against the Warriors. It was a good defense. That's what it was. They clobbered on all styles. There was no styles to be had for the Warriors. So I just feel like the whole Jimmy and Draymond thing, it's true. Like, their two-man lineup net rating is like 3. Jimmy's with like DeAnthony Melton, who's just now becoming more of a shooter again, is like 19 net rating. His net rating with Jonathan Kuminga, just under 10. Right. So it's clear his connection with Draymond is the lowest in terms of his net rating. And I think there's something to be said about that. But right now, it is clear the Warriors are not going to do anything about moving Draymond or Jimmy or Stephen. So now it's a matter of, you got to make a move based off that, knowing that. And I don't know if they're going to do it.
I think that's incredibly well said. I want to shift this to a different type of answer, if you guys don't mind.
Sure.
Because in my opinion, I don't think the Warriors have a chance of winning. The way I think of this is, which team has a chance to genuinely win the championship and can really change the trajectory, not maybe change, but boost their odds of winning the championship. That is the Boston Celtics. They are one center away from legitimately being able to make the NBA Finals. Of course, they're one of the best offenses in the NBA. At one point, they were the best offense in the NBA. Their starting lineup is dominating teams. Keita, who got a shout out earlier, has been very, very good for them. I think ultimately they probably do need another center option. They've proven before, when they won that championship, that they don't necessarily, like, Porzingis missed so much time during that run.
Robert Williams III was their center.
Yeah, totally. And so, like, I guess my question is, will the Celtics take advantage of a moment in time where Tatum might be coming back, where Brown is playing like an MVP candidate, where Derek White is coming into his own, where they have the expiring salary in Simons and Sam Hauser to be able to package something together and go out and get that final piece to give them a chance to make it to the NBA Finals? And then from there, who knows? Right? Who knows what happens if you make it to the finals, if it's OKC, if it's San Antonio, if it's Denver, whoever. I think the Celtics have a very good chance if they go with that. So that's my thing. Can they make that push? Will they make that push with 3 weeks left until the deadline? That's sort of the thinking that I have with Boston.
Oof, they are so capable of sneaking up on everybody if they make them. Yeah.
If they can get, look, Daniel Gafford is available, and they can make that. They can make that work. And they can save their tax bill, moving out Anthony Simons' money. And I mean, there's a path to them getting Ivica Zubac. I mean, it exists. Like, they can get him and still duck the tax and help the Clippers out, actually, if the Clippers decide that they want to make a move too.
Yeah.
So,
are they willing to use up the pick capital that's required to go out and do that, is my question, right?
Yeah. And then if Tatum comes back, I mean, obviously it's a huge if. Anytime a guy is coming back from an injury, especially an Achilles. Yeah. But if he comes back and he's anything like himself, anywhere close to it, they've already been so good. I mean, the Missoula ball stuff is great. And they found, speaking of a team that had found new guys, I mean, Jordan Walsh, Gonzalez, and Keita. I mean, they found some guys too. Yeah. Look, I want to talk about the Bucks here, because I do think, like, this is a team that has to make some changes, but I just don't know where they go. because they're kind of stuck. They're stuck. Yeah. And it's kind of a bummer because I actually like that Giannis has been there his whole career. I would like to see Giannis stay in Milwaukee. My preference, is that these guys don't leave. I think Giannis has been important to the city.
Yeah.
I don't know what they do. The Miles Turner thing has not been great for them. Obviously, they've needed a point guard. Ryan Rollins has been a good story, but they needed a very good point guard. Do you guys think that the Bucks should do something crazy and trade for Ja?
Okay, if they trade for Ja, where do you see them ending their season?
I think they're better than they are right now, probably by quite a bit.
Like, are they better than the Heat?
I would take them head to head over the Heat. But they were still going to be some issues. I mean, it's a conversation. I know it is a conversation. And they have,
I think that answers your question.
And what I love about these YouTube streams is that we get the great comment on the Break Pod. Let us know Milwaukee's schedule 5th hardest remaining in the East.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it makes them better than that. They are just they're just kind of lost.
I think right now there are certain teams. We've seen this like when the Jimmy Butler thing happened. We saw this when John Morant was going through his off the court stuff. When you've got a player and it's bad vibes, like there's something to that. It also, I think, clouds your judgment about what to do next.
Yeah.
Right. It's not easy to figure out which direction. And because we don't know how Giannis is feeling exactly, he is telling us that he is going to be in Milwaukee. He's not asked for an exit or a trade. He is committed to his team. And it just feels like, okay, we'll believe you. But there's something here. There's something not clicking here because it's not translating on the court. But that's the thing. When we started this season and we looked at the Bucks roster, did we think that the Miles Turner thing was really going to be the game changer?
No. Absolutely not.
No. We looked at this roster, had questions then. So even before all of this craziness, and mind you, the stink from the question around Giannis was permeating from last season as well. So don't get us wrong. We know that over the summer. But it's been like this for a minute, this kind of like uneasiness around the Bucks. And I feel like that needs to be addressed before the Bucks can actually understand what direction do we want to head in. Because then you're figuring out, are we solving for role players? Are we solving for a superstar? Mm-hmm. Are we solving through the draft? Right? Like there's too much stink around this team right now we don't know what direction we want to go on because we don't know what's going on with Giannis before they can make a decision.
And by the way, they've exhausted all options. Like they have one first-round pick available to them to move. The salary matching stuff is difficult because they have Kuzma's contract. They have Bobby Portis's contract. Right. The only, quality level young guy that they have is Ryan Rollins, who we just talked about. And so you wonder, like, what is the path forward for this team to even try to improve? There isn't one. The point blank, there is not a serious path for this team to improve. And so you're mentioning the Zach LaVines of the world, the Michael Porter Jr.'s of the world, John Morant's of the world. Do any of those guys change the fact that the Bucks are 11th in the Eastern Conference right now with Giannis back over the last week? Can they even get to 8? At this point,
they probably could
they come in and change the vibes. Like, who's coming in? Is Zach LaVine coming in to change the vibes?
Yeah.
Do we know him to be that person to do that? He's talented. We know that, but like, is he going to be the person that's going to?
How about Doc Rivers, man? Is Doc Rivers going to change the vibes? That's the thing that no one seems to bring up.
Yeah,
I just don't think so. No one seems to bring up the fact that Doc Rivers has done a bad job coaching this team. Regardless, again, we hammer other coaches all the time.
Yeah.
But their offense pops. They're very good offensively. They score the ball well. And Doc Rivers helped provide that. Now, has it always translated into wins? No. But they have an offense. Like, they can score the ball. And that's something that a lot of teams can't say. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. They're not a good basketball team. I think that they're a candidate to do something dumb because they are in a desperate position, right? This is the end of the road. They got a title. They did the thing that's hard to do. They won a title out of this. And I think that they might have deconstructed that title team to go to the next thing. Like Chris Middleton not being healthy and then moving into the Dame stuff and leveraging the entire future for that.
Mm-hmm.
That was a little bit of desperation. And I think now, like, you're looking at a position where the move is you try to make a move at the deadline. Can we make a push? And if we get to the playoffs, maybe we get lucky.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I think that the Giannis trade is coming this summer. And maybe to New York. Depends. Can Karl Anthony Towns win a title?
Can Karl Anthony Towns do it? No, honestly. I think that does kind of make the point here. If Cat and the Knicks can actually get to the mountaintop, or at the very least make it to the NBA Finals, I think that'll change some things for the whole Knicks Giannis debate. But
you guys,
full clarity, they've got an offense more than they've had in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah.
They're not a great offensive team in comparison to this season. So I just want, before the trolls come get me and say I don't know what I'm watching. Just want to say.
They've not been good.
Yeah.
All right. You guys got anything else before we get out of here?
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't know.
Got that January 15th date tomorrow. So I think like trades, we already got the Trae Young trade to the Wizards. I expect that, the Grizzlies are in Europe right now.
Yeah.
I would be shocked if Ja gets traded before they're back from London. But you never know. I mean, like Hollinger pointed out the other day, if Ja gets traded while they're overseas, the team that trades for him is going to have to provide his travel back.
I mean, teams are rich. Does that matter?
Oh, it doesn't mean you want to just throw money away. I think I would just hang out and wait for them to come back. Oh, we got a good question from the chat from producer Andrew Select. Anything on the AD weirdness? Oh, you know what? Let's hit this because I don't think we've had a chance to talk about it since it came out. In case you didn't know, Anthony Davis was somehow the report was that he was ruled out for the season and was going to need surgery on his wrist. Turns out not necessarily true. He's gotten a second opinion. We don't know what's going to happen. This is what we call negotiating through the media, folks.
Oh yeah.
He's injured, but he doesn't want to not get his next contract. And he would rather the team move him if they're not going to just offer him an extension, which doesn't seem like the Mavericks are going to, because frankly, it doesn't make any sense. This guy doesn't play and he's way older than your young team. So they should be looking to move him. Here's the thing. If you're a team out there like the Atlanta Hawks, who we've been hearing would be interested in Anthony Davis, do you want to get another center who's not going to play for you? You've been dealing with Kristaps Porzingis to the point where you traded your franchise star to the Wizards because, frankly, Porzingis couldn't play.
Yeah.
Do you want to go out and get Anthony? I'm sorry to rant about this, but I don't know who wants to get into the Anthony Davis business. I didn't get it when you traded Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis. I don't understand giving up much of anything. To me, this is another situation where the Mavericks should just be happy to move him and whatever you get. Like, don't try to milk this for assets.
If this is the other team that's interested in him, apparently, which is the Toronto Raptors, and I don't understand it from their point.
Well, they're going to do Ja and AD.
Get all the guys who can only play half of the season. Yeah, get all of them. I mean, look, I agree with you on the injury front. I don't see how any team that is serious about trying to compete over the next couple of years would trade for a guy like Anthony Davis without some serious level of assurances that he can play. The only team I can think of, truthfully, that actually kind of makes sense to me, it's worth the risk, the age-wise lines up, it is your Golden State Warriors, Zena. Clippers I could see too. Sure, the age and whatever. I think the Warriors would do it because get out of the Draymond situation. You get your center. Kuminga goes to a new land far, far away. And you get your center. And it's Steph and AD. And that is interesting in the playoffs.
So here's the thing about that. We have seen Trae Young be moved. We have seen Ja Morant be moved. Be considered. Excuse me. Be considered for moving. I do not think that the Warriors are signing off on moving Draymond. No. I just don't. I do not see a world in which they do that, which is crazy because Klay didn't get moved. He left because he didn't get what he wanted. Right. Yeah. I just don't see a world in which the Warriors are doing that. He's too important. Even in the midst of everything that's been going on, like, he's been great in terms of the on team and not getting ejected and not, having any issues on in terms of like communication with his team. Even when he did have the confrontation or whatever it was with Steve Kerr, and when he did get ejected and he did have those moments where he was leaving games early, the team was like, we're rallying for him. We're rallying around him. We're like, that was the sentiment, was we got energized, or we got rallied. I mean, I don't know. It was just clearly the team is always going to find a way to show Draymond is needed, and we need him here. And I just don't see that they're moving him. And I get it. I get why they're doing it. 6 banners. Like he's been to, like, they've had 4 titles. I get it. The IQ can't be matched, but everyone keeps talking about moving Draymond.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying this as a fan or anything. I just don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see that happening either. And
if they wanted to, and they did not. So,
and if they did, it would be a situation where he was going somewhere that he kind of wanted to go. I just don't see.
Yeah, he would move on his own accord.
Exactly.
And so, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It'd probably be like, he'd probably want to go to the Lakers or something like that. I don't see him being a part of a trade that sends him to Dallas or anywhere.
I'll also say, just because. Oh yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Just last thing. I'm curious. I feel like, and again, not speaking as like a Warriors person or anything like that, but I feel like Draymond has earned the ability to say whether he's going to go or not, right? And in the comparison to a Trey or a Ja, and I'm just curious, what do you guys think about that?
I think if I'm the Warriors, I would ignore that and do the best trade for me while trying my best to get him to a place where he would want to go. You know what I mean? You got to take the best deal that's out there.
Yeah.
Period.
I'll ask you this, and Zena, you can agree or disagree because I'm curious. I'm a huge Draymond defender in the sense that he is impactful on the basketball court defensively. Yeah. I think he's one of the greatest defenders of our generation, maybe the greatest defender of our generation. At the same time, how much of that goodwill that you just mentioned has eroded from the things that he has done?
Yes.
From the pool situation, from the suspensions and the whatever, et cetera, et cetera. How much of that is now eroded to the point where it doesn't matter, to Dave's point? And it's like, hey, we're just going to find you. And that's
I would guess from a fan perspective, right now would be the lowest approval rating for Draymond Green.
1,000%. Yeah. Yeah. I think people are over it because, one, it's been a while since that last title. And 2, we talked about this earlier, the margin of error is so small. The window is closing. So, I agree with you, S. I do think that the goodwill has been eroding. I don't know if it's eroded, but it has definitely been.
But it's decaying to a certain. I get what you're saying. I just want to mention, because on the break pod mentioned, is the Raptors management under pressure? Yeah, I do think so. Yeah, they've signed contracts for Bobby Webster and Darko Rajakovic for only 2 more years. So there is a level of, hey, we need you guys to show that this is a proof of concept for things moving forward. That's why they're involved in Anthony Davis and Ja and Trey and Sabonis, all the names they're trying to get involved in. And it's because they want to get off some of these contracts too, and quickly, and Jakob Poeltl. So if anybody is willing to take on their bad contracts, they are more than willing to do that. So,
and to contrast that, the Golden State Warriors front office seemingly operates with no pressure whatsoever. Pretty amazing. It's awesome. Mike Dunleavy, you got a great job there, buddy. All right, guys, that's going to do it for the show. Thank you to everybody who was hanging out on YouTube with us. Oh, Zena, you got one more thought? Sorry.
Sometimes us commentators say dumb things. When the Bucks were coming to play the Warriors, they did have a good offense. Their offense has been really bad. So, just want to
You're
take that.
fine. You're
back.
fine.
Hey, you're fine. You're all good.
No, I know I'm
what you
fine.
meant.
I just want to make sure that is on the record that
The difference
they have
between
actually had the worst offense that they've had in like the last 5 years, and I just take that.
No. Yeah, exactly, Dave. The difference between what they were
and what they became with Doc Rivers, which was the point.
You're absolutely right. Doc Rivers, I take it all back. I just want to put that out there on the record.
Take that apology back. It's fine. We're having a conversation here. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. If you were with us on YouTube, that's awesome. Thank you guys. We're going to do this every week. We might add more. So thanks for hanging out. If you haven't joined our Discord, please do. It's going to be in the show description of the podcast. We're having a pretty fun time over there. I'm seeing a lot of new NBA memes that I did not know existed, because where would I see those?
Why do we have the same face?
I'm just saying, it's been fun hanging out, watching games with folks in Discord. And we're dropping links in there and stuff like that. So definitely join us there. Leave us a 5-star review, all that jazz. For Baraheni, Zena, Keita, I'm Dave DuFour, and this has been Morning Shoot Around. Thanks for hanging out.